Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Yas Marina for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix here in 7th Gear Racing. That's right, we're back after a 1 week hiatus after we had a lot of dropouts, so it really wasn't worth streaming. And I'll be honest, it went to the wire tonight because there were so many people. So yes, no, and then we've got 13 drivers, so it's obviously a low grid, but unfortunately this is how popular the game is right now. Gone having 20 people grids 3-4 weeks ago to now barely scraping 14 because hashtag thank you Codemasters. Anyway, enough of that drizzle. Time for the spectacle. As you can see, we've got a rather mixed up grid. In Tier 1, obviously you've got people like Dylan, current leader of Tier 3, testing his might out tonight in Tier 1. Could be in for a good one tonight. Right, who's on the outlap? Looks like the Red Bull is going to be crossing the line first, which is Craig Mitt. Oh god, that's going to be a mouthful for me tonight. Right then, first lap of the evening, let's ride on board, shall we? Good evening, Dylan. Good evening, Orange Juice. That's not sure why I just spelled juice. Let's get it on, shall we? Let's see how quick it does. Oh no, he kept it. I thought that was going to be invalidated, but no. Still going. Seems so slow, doesn't it? Of course, we are when you look the race out. We were here a couple of weeks ago for Tier 2, where I distinctly remember Vaughan having a very tough time with it. Of course, the new track layout down to 16 corners now, having adjusted turn 5 and turn 9, the two new corners. I'm sure you witnessed already. Makes this corner a lot more open. You can see there it's now a curve rather than a right angle, and this is now more opened up, as you can see. And now this corner here should be flat out. It is indeed. Oh, I just got away the track limits here as well, doesn't he? He misses the apex by quite a lot. And to the line at 25.8. That is the benchmark time to beat. Who is next over the line? I believe it's one of the Oh, and the curse starts right away as Aros goes round. But Dan, look at that. 1.7 seconds faster. That's a lap and a half, hasn't it? Right, we've got Mercedes going around the final corner. It is Benster. Benster currently second in the championship standings. He does a 1:24.0. Dead. Oh, that's quite a rare one. Pack Bussy does a 24.2. So look at that, top three separated by 2 tenths. That is what we like to see. Looks like we've got the second Mercedes going around. That's Fitzy. Where does he fit into the pile? A 1:24.2. Another decent lap. And then Aurelian. 1:23.8. Great lap there from Aurelian. Next up is that the Alpha? It's Jay Moore, goes P7. Obviously, just like a little spin there. Here comes Jake then with the obviously the livery that Codemasters thought, oh no, let's put the new livery in rather than fix the game. Hashtag thank you Codemasters. I believe it's the Aston Martin of Kegorniak next. How fast can he go? 1:24.2, so very close at the front of the grid there, which is fantastic to see. Who's that coming around the final corner? It is Arthur and his AlphaTauri. Will he go pole? No, I think because he's just starting his lap. That's why. In that case, let us ride on board with the current championship leader. currently on 5 wins from the first 8 races. Currently sitting on 168 points, 42 points ahead of his nearest challenger, Benson, as I previously mentioned. Now let's see how fast this looks compared to Cricket, who we were riding on board with earlier. Keeping that car nice and straight. Hugging the apex nicely. Don't take too much, otherwise it'll spin you. Widen the outside curve, lovely. Give it to the left. Let the car drift right. There we go. Into a new turn 9. It's interesting, the far front is around the outside there. There you go, nicely opened up. Into 10, 11, 12. There we go. Into a new turn 14. Yeah. And of course now, can Arthur take this flat out? He does. Even upshifts through it. How tight, there you go, that's much tighter than Prignet. There we go, across the line. 123.6. Just 2 tenths actually, quicker than Aurelian. So hopefully he doesn't go too much faster, then we're in for a good race. Looks like Dylan then. Dylan has just started a lap. Let's ride on board or stay with the current Tier 3 Championship leader. With his lovely blue helmet. Of course, usually races in the Alpine on a Thursday. Does also chip in with Tier 2 races sometimes. So it'll be interesting to see how Dylan does tonight. Absolutely no pressure, Dylan. Let's compare corners, shall we? Let's see how fast he is compared to Arthur. You can see Dylan taking a much tighter line through there. Hugging the apex, getting a bit Chelsea on the exit. Hugging that curve. Gets so close to that apex as well. Early shift up. Oh, a shift up, a shift down, and a shift up again. Make your mind up, Dylan. Oh, and that is a horrible turn. That's going to cost him a huge chunk of time. Not flat out around there either, so you can definitely tell the difference, can't you? And this will be a 125.3, which puts him in P10, but I'm sure Dylan will know there's a lot of time to be had as Elite Risk. Does provisional pole Elite Risk, who of course was pole last time out in Melbourne. He's at it again, Elite Risk with his 1 lap pace, a 123.3. I'm sure Arthur will not be happy with that. Who else is on track? Is that a Red Bull back to cross the line? It is. Bussy is starting a lap. Looks like Ruin is about to start a lap. So who is next to Red Bull? So I think it is Krigman actually. So will he improve? Currently bottom of the grid so far, the 125.8, 2.5 seconds off the lead. I'm sure there's a lot more time. Well, as I say that, it clocks has been going for 3 minutes and 15 seconds, so that's a long outlap. Right, who's next across the line? It's a Ferrari, but I believe that's Dylan going into the pits. And we've got a Haas with Elite Risk going to the pits, and then we've got that car there of Alros, who I don't know if he's on the lap because he's about 8 tenths off. But Aros down in P10, you won't be happy with that. Aros usually a decent qualifier, but what's happened? Is that Dylan? What's happened to Dylan? I think he was just getting out of the way. But Aros aborts as well. So then next will be the next Red Bull of Pat Bussy. How much lap time can he put in? 23.8, another very good lap. The full person into the 23s. So we've got Aston Martin next. Aurelian, he's currently a 10th down and he aborts. Next is the Mercedes of Benster. Can he improve? Nope. So next the McLaren of Dan. Can Dan improve? No, it looks like he's about to start a lap. Why didn't it say out lap then? Bloody game. Okay, so next to Red Bull it'll be Crickbit then. It will be Crickbit finally. He's 2 tenths up and he does a 25.4. So still a lot of time to find for Crickbit. He wants to challenge, but having said that, he's only a couple of tenths of Jay Moore and Dylan there. So he's got some company. So there you go. Elite Risk heads out for his second run. We've got just over 7 minutes remaining of the qualifying session. As you can see, Arthur has started his second flying lap of the evening. And he invalidates, so he will not be improving. So in that case, we will ride on board with Jake, who is on an out lap. Anyone on an actual fast lap, please? Oh, what is Pack Bussy doing there? That's a bit odd, but okay. Right. Oh, Benson, here we go then. Benson half a second up. If he continues that, he could well be on provisional pole here, and he goes second. The 123.4. Very good lap there. Arthur, the pressure, look at that. He was 2 tenths up as well. Pressure getting to Arthur a little bit, maybe. As Dan crosses the line and goes P4. 123.699. 6 drivers now in the 23s. Anyone else? Elite Risk, I believe, is he still on his out lap? No, I think he's on his fast lap according to this. No, he's not. Stupid bloody game. And AlphaTauri, so, oh, after a little spin, I believe he'll likely abort. Yes. Right then, so let's stay with Fitzy, shall we? A couple of attempts up already. Will he be the 7th man into the 123s? Look how big that curve is. It's unbelievable. Anyway, across the line. Oh, 23. Another 23.8. Wow. So, yes, we've got 3 drivers with one. Ooh, 23.8s. Hopefully got some close racing tonight. I believe Jay Moore has just crossed the line. He went a 10th up, which moves him into P10. So then we are getting to the end of the session. Just over 5 minutes left. Guys will be warming up for their final runs. Dylan then looks like he's going for his final run early. Still on his out lap. Fitzy is on in lap, so no one really on a fast lap at the moment. So I think we'll have to stay with Dylan, shall we? Let's see. No, we won't, because he's going back in. So no one is on the track apart from Arthur, who is now coming out, which should be for his last run of the evening. Not because of Firmsy, he has invalidated. So I believe Firmsy is the next best person to watch. There we go. Benson will cross the line and starts his final flying lap. Oh, and that is not how you take the final corner. Apologies for the lack of words. Oh, and Arthur. Bloody hell, I missed that, didn't I? 123.3 provisional pole. Benzer has definitely screwed that. I guess Elite Risk is the possibly one and only person who can take this pole away from Arthur. All he needs, 34 thousandths. And this time, there we go, Elite Risk bugs that apex. Nice and flat out. There we go, final corner. Crosses the line. What can he do? Oh, what a lap! 23-0. Wow. Pick that one out. Jesus Christ, what a lap. From Elite Risk. That is a magnificent pole. I don't think anyone's going to top that. I believe there's just Fitzy left now to set a fast lap. Can he trouble the top 5? He only needs a... Oh, and he invalidates on the last corner. What would it have been? A 23-7. So yes, he would have put himself 5th. But he invalidates on that just before that last corner. What a shame as the camera angle goes. Absolutely mental. Right then, that is your for the race. I doubt Arthur is going for another lap. No, he is not. Be interesting to see the strategies. Obviously, tyre wear is usually a bit funny around here. You can get over one stop, medium to hards. It's unlikely to go soft to hards, but it has been done. So we'll have to see. Right then, here is your grid for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Starting on pole with a phenomenal lap of a 23-0 is Elite Risk. Joining on the front row is Arthur. Benster and Dan make up row 2. Aurelian and Fitzy make up row 3. Pack Bussy and Jake, our Lord and Saviour, on row 4. With Kay Gorniak and Alros rounding out the top 10 on row 5. And then we have Jay Moore in 11th, Dylan in P12. Craig Mitt, oh, I've got to get that right. Craig Mitt bringing up the rear in P13. A little bit off the pace, but all can change in the race. I shall now leave you alone for a few minutes. I know Fresh isn't in the chat, so he will miss the fact that I'm going to say that I will be going to lube my throat up. Let's just see. Jake says we are go. We are going at 20:58. So I will be back in a moment. Right then, here we go. They're almost ready. Here we go. 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's away we go here in Abu Dhabi. It always looks so bloody slow, doesn't it? So, game predicts the 1 stock. Any shenanigans on the first corner. Looks like Benson has managed to get Arthur. They're going to go side by side, going into this tricky uphill chicane. Looks like everyone survived, apart from Jake, who seems to have had an off even before the corner started. But the front 5 unchanged. Elite Risk getting away very well. Ahead of Arthur, Benson and Dan. Pack Bussy has just jumped up 2 places. Great start for him. That's what I was blinding first corner there. Suddenly in the oh dear dear me, look at that. I was really almost going into the back of Fitzy there. Sorry, Pack Bussy. It was a Red Bull here, not Mercedes. And he's now come under pressure. But, looks like he will hold on to that P6 for now. So let's have a quick look. Has Jake got damage? Has Dylan got damage? He's going a bit slow. It doesn't look like it at the moment. We've got another yellow flag. Oh, it's Pack Bussy's had a go around. Doesn't look any damage. What about Jake? Has Jake got damage? Doesn't look like it. What about Krigmit? No, it looks like everyone has survived. Look at Keg Gulliak with the P6. Oh, and Arthur's had a spin. The championship leader has had a spin. And look at that, down into P10. P11 now for Arthur. He is going to have to do some work tonight if he wants to win his 6th race of the season. So then, Elite Risk out front then by his own. He's already got a second on Benson. Is this the race Elite Risk finally breaks his, well, not losing streak, but he hasn't won for what feels like forever. He's always shown a bit of pace. Now, can he reward himself with a victory, pulling out ever so slightly on Benster, who has got Dan in close company, Aurelian close company behind as well. The grid yet to really pull out, or stretch out I should say. And I imagine a DRS train will be starting very soon, as Pack Bussy, the most behind there, 2.5 seconds after his spin on lap 1, coming under pressure already from Arthur. All these drivers looking to anyway, right, so then the gap still at that 1.2 mark. It's going up and down, and Dan is just falling outside the, well, he did fall outside the 1 second, but it looks like Benson's made a mistake because he's lost about 7/10 in that one corner alone. And really back up into P4 then after the shenanigans for the first couple of corners, and we're going to get a bit of a DRS train here. And hopefully those guys maybe they'll work together to try and catch Elite Risk at the start. And we got another yellow flag as Krigmit at the back, really not having a good night, is he? And Jake P11 closing down Arthur, who in turn is closing down back Bussy. Right, let's go back at the front because one overtaken just yet. What about Keg Gulliak? No, he doesn't come under attack. Pack Bussy, does he come under attack from Arthur? No. So this is the problem with Abu Dhabi. It's got a long straight, but for some reason cars just can't get past. You've got to be super close to be able to have a look at the car in front. As the front, well, obviously Elite Risk pulling away 1.6 ahead, and then you've got 2 to 4 pulling away. Keg Gulliak just falling back now. Falling back off his teammate. Aston Martin's going strong here in P4 and P5. We've got the second Mercedes and Fitzy close behind. And Jay Moore in the Alpine, in the Sol Alpine tonight. In P8, and Aros is falling. Oh, is that Dylan? And Dylan's having a little spin coming out of that final corner. That's a shame. Oh, careful not to cut that corner because the game will give you a penalty. Arthur is still stuck behind Pack Bussy, and Pack Bussy has closed that gap by about a second now. I don't know what, has Aros got damage because he's fallen back by over a second now from Jay Moore. Very un-Aros like this early performance so far, but never counts him out unless he's got he's on medium tyres like the rest of the top 9. Arthur, the only person who started in the top 10 on softs, as Jake also joined him, hopefully trying to make up some early places going on. As Krigmit on the hards will probably look to go to the end. His tyres may not be thanking him if he does, but certainly worth a go when you're that far down. As Jake has fallen outside the DRS zone now. As look at that. Pack Bussy on the back of Aros already. Oh, he runs wide. That would be a track limits. And look at the front then. Benson has closed that gap by a considerable margin, and he's bringing Dan with him, isn't he? So at the moment, we could well be on through a top 3 battle here for the win, as Jaymore gets back. He gets past Fitzy, I should say. Perhaps Fitzy made a mistake there, but it's allowed Aros to close right back up again. So definitely, I think Fitzy making a mistake there by the looks of it. So all these guys now all close behind. Gap back up to it's to and throwing a lot. There's a lot. I think there's a lot of little mistakes going on tonight because the gap goes up and down, up and down. So that when we're down, you can see Benson with no DRS. Gap came down by about a tenth there. So let's have a look. So back up to 7 tenths. So there's the line. Oh, hang on. Look at that. I think Aros has definitely made a mistake coming out there because Benster has got he's got a run. He's in the DRS now. So again, these little mistakes that you can't really see on camera, but they're happening because Benster closed the gap by well over 6 tenths there, and he is now right on the back of Elite Risk, and of course he is bringing Dan with him. So the top 3 separated by just over 1 second, and then Aurelian only a second behind them. As Elite Risk! Oh no, he's in the wall! Oh, it was looking so good for Elite Risk. Oh, he's bit the wall again. Oh, and that's the Alpine of Jaymore. Oh dear. Ah, and Elite Risk carries on as well, so no damage for Elite Risk despite hitting the wall. Is that Arthur taking a bit of a weird route there? I think he got an illegal overtake, which is why he's let passing back through there. But there we go then. After that mistake, Benster is your new leader. Let's have a look at that then. So, DRS, he is 9 tenths behind. Pretty much exactly, but he's lost some time out of the acceleration zone. So, he's losing more time despite having DRS. I don't think I've seen that before. How do you lose time having DRS? That's amazing. Which means he won't get DRS here now. No, Benster is free to stretch his legs. And Aurelian then looks like he could well be on the back of Dan quite soon. The field is now starting to spread out now. People have start making mistakes. You've got Kagorniak running by himself. You've got Fitzy. Oh, and Jesus, Benster's had a moment as well. Oh, has all his wing gone? Has all his wing gone? I can't see a wing. Can I see a wing? He's letting cars pass, so I think he may well have... I love this camera view, but the one time I don't want this camera view, it looks like Benster will need a trip into the pits. He's going very slowly. Yeah, he's lifted off around there, and that's the trip into the pits. What a shame for Benster. Oh, and he's missed the pit exit. Oh, and that's... Oh dear me. Oh, dear, that is not good. Arthur in the pits as well, then. Getting rid of his soft tyres. Does Arthur have damage? Doesn't. Just a fresh set of medium tyres going on for Arthur. He'll likely need to pit again. So then, your new race leader is Dan. I don't want to say too much because it feels like the curse is happening. But Aurelian is less than a second behind now. Aurelian, I'm going to have to risk the curse. Aurelian is looking superb tonight. Abu Dhabi is a track he's gone well at over the years. I remember, I think a couple of years ago, it might have been the early season, season 3, season 4, he was up there in the podium places and things just went wrong, like they usually do for Aurelian. So hopefully tonight, well, it's never usually his fault, to be fair, with Aurelian. So hopefully tonight, things go well for him, because the front two have got about 4.5 seconds on Kagorniak here, and Kagorniak's got 3 seconds on Fitzy, 3.5, so yeah. It's looking like the field is a bit spread out here, which is great for the front two, because they will be wanting to win. Oh, and that's Pack Bussy going so deep into the corner, almost running to the back of Elite Risk. We've got another yellow flag, as I believe that's Krigmit again. But Benster pitted for the hard tyre, so he will be going to the end. Let's have a quick look. So he is 37 seconds off the leader. So he's going to need to bring that gap down by at least 10 seconds to have any chance of... Where's Krigmit doing? Yeah, 10 seconds if he wants to have any chance of winning this race. So then, there we go then. Aurelian and Dan having a bit of a ding-dong here. Pulling away from Kate Gorniak. I don't believe Dan has won a race here. Will Aurelian really look to make a move? Dan covering the inside line. Aurelian goes around the outside of the new turn 9. There's room for about 5 cars there. Will he try the cut back or the switch back even? No. Oh, and do you know what? I thought that was Dan getting a penalty there, but it was Krigmit. But no, Dan holds on to the lead for now. Very good racing from these two. As Alros, Elite Risk and Pack Bussy going at it. I wonder how long these guys will go. Probably lap 13 or 14, I imagine. They'll try and stretch these mediums. As long as they're good, they'll try and stretch these mediums out. For as long as they... oh, and Alros! Oh, no. More bad luck for Alros. And he hit Pack Bussy. Hopefully Pack Bussy hasn't got damage. Like Pack Bussy now has... He does have damage. What a shame. Crickmit really having a good ride from there, is he? So that promotes our Lord and Saviour Jake up into P6. Is it a new nose? It is. Is it hard tyres? It is. So 20 laps, that will easily go to the end now for Pack Bussy. As Arthur sets a new fastest lap of the race on those new mediums. And then Benzer tops that. So we've got some anything you can do, I can do better moments. As Pack Bussy, sorry, Benzer passes Pack Bussy whilst he's in the pits. This could get tasty towards the end, you know, as we got another yellow flag. Who's it this time? Is that Benson? Oh, I think Krigmit's retiring in the pits. As Dylan pits on lap 9, or lap 8, at the end of lap 8, onto lap 9. So he is on hards for the rest of the race, by the look of things. So that back up the front. The battle is still going on. Dan and Aurelian separated by half a second. You have to wonder, could Aurelian stretch his legs? Could he actually pull away from Dan if he can get ahead? Seems like you need to be very, very close to even have a chance of overtaking it, as Arthur gets past Jaymore. Up into P8 then, as Jake has been overtaken by Aros. Jake on those old soft tyres now. I imagine Jake will be pitting. He is. Those soft tyres obviously. Oh, and Jake's done it as well. What is it about this pit lane tonight? Everyone's just... everyone's crossing that pit lane. It must be so tricky tonight. I don't know what's going on there. Right then. Right. Let's have a ball of Aurelian. He's about 2/10 behind. He needs to get good traction out of this corner. See, look at that, 2/10. Right, when do you make a move? He's deploying all that battery. He'll move to the outside. It looks like the move could get done this time, but Dan does have that inside line. Oh, what happened there? But there you go. Aurelian he has the lead of the Grand Prix. God, Dan and I'll tell you what, Dan and Aurelian really using that battery to it's going empty, isn't it? But there you go, new race leader Aurelian, 4th race leader of the night. After we've had Elite Risk, we've had Arthur, we've had Benster, we've had Dan, and now Aurelian. So our 5th race leader from just 13 drivers on the grid. Almost half the field have led the race at this point. Looks like Kate Gorniak is now managing that gap, staying at about 5.5 seconds. He'll be one where his teammate as Pack Bussy. Leaf gets a 3-second time penalty. Benster, of course, the first of the runners who have made a pit stop. Oh, he's got to be careful as Jaymore into the pits. That was very close to losing another bit of carbon fibre on Benster's car. How far is he behind the leader now? 33 seconds, so the gap's come down by about 4 seconds. Not quite enough, because the guys at the front are going to be pitting in the next 2 to 3 laps. Right, the question is, can he get Aurelian back? No, Aurelian is able to fend him off. So it looks like these guys do have pretty much of a pace. So I have to wonder what's going to happen when it comes to the pit stops, because it's very it's usually better to go for the overcut on this year's game, purely because how long it takes to warm those hard tyres up on the first lap. As Aurelian pits, Aurelian goes for the undercut then. Right, this will be interesting to see where Aurelian comes out, because if Aurelian comes out in traffic, it pretty much destroys his race, and he should, if my calculations are correct, come out between Alros and Arthur. Let's stay on board with Arthur, shall we, as he gets released. There goes Alros. Sorry, Elite Risk events. And there's Alros going through turn 1. It's going to be tight between these two. But Alros, no, Aurelian looks like he's just about got it, and he has. So P5 for Aurelian. He's come out in clean air. That is vital for his chances of winning this race. So then I guess the next question is, does Dan pit this lap, or does he continue to go for the undercuts? But right now, your front three are Dan, Kagonic, and Fitzy. Not something I would have said a couple of weeks ago, but here we are. So we've got a lot of different, obviously we've had quite a few spins and a lot of different strategies tonight. So we'll have it. So can you do last lap or just fart? No, you can't do last lap. That's annoying. Bit of a shame, but there we go. Oh, we got a yellow flag. It's a Ferrari. Is it Jake or is it Dylan? It's Dylan. Dylan proving. I think Dylan's doing it on purpose because he doesn't want to move up a rank. Shame for Dylan. We'll be hoping for a point tonight. As Dan, there you go. Dan is in the pits. Has he done enough? And Kagonic in the pits as well. Oh, and Fitzy probably got a penalty for crossing that pit lane. But there we go. So, Elite Risk in the pits. They're all coming into the pits. Right then. Let's stay with Aurelian. Has Aurelian done the undercut, or is the undercut more powerful? Judging by where Dan is, it looks like the overcut is definitely looks like a lot. Oh no, look at that. Aurelian in the lead. The undercut has worked a treat. But it's going to be so close. Oh dear me. Dan Aurelian has fired those tyres up really well. Because I was generally expecting Dan to come out in the lead by at least a second. But here we are then. Aurelian gets a great... Well, it's not even the undercut because he was in the lead, wasn't he? It's as you were, as Alros has stayed out and now is running P3. Arthur then, look at that, P4 Arthur. But I think Arthur probably will have to pit again though. He might try and go to the end, but those mediums, I don't think they're going to last. I mean, he is a champion for a reason, so, I mean, he could well prove me wrong. I am a lowly tier 3 driver after all. Right, so he's trying to get interrupted by the wife. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Oh, that's not Dylan again. Oh, Dylan, what are you doing? Oh, dear, Dylan. Anyway, so Elite Rush come out in P10. There's something happened there because I feel like he was a lot closer than that. But anyway, look at that. So Benster. Oh, hang on. Leader. So look at that, 17 seconds behind Aurelian. He's lost a lot of time as Alros finally pits for what I'm sure he'll hope will be his one and only stop of the evening. Look at that, we're almost halfway and no VSC or safety car yet. So obviously we've had a few spins but no retirements as Dylan gets a time penalty. Alros coming out the pits. Where will he feed back out? It looks like he's going to be out P10, so in the points. Behind it is long-time rival Elite Risk. Jake then up into P8 after starting outside the top 10, being closed down by Elite Risk as it stands. Where's the gaps gone? That was my fault. Right, look at that, at the front then, I'll tell you what, Aurelian has been going very nicely because he's pulled that gap out. He's out of the DRS zone, so I'm not going to say anything because I will curse it. But let's just say the gap is now 1.8 seconds, 1.7 seconds, 1.6 seconds. Make your mind up. Oh, and Dylan's being kicked. I don't think he retired from the session. Dylan, get back in. Your car's in the pits. Anyway, so then that promotes Kagornia up into P3 then. He was 5.5 seconds behind, wasn't he? So he's closed the gap to Dan. Excuse me, by about a second, which means Dan's probably made a mistake somewhere. Because the gap was 5.5 seconds before the pits. And then you got Arthur in the pits. He's got onto hards. I guess, obviously, in these Grand Prix, you only get one set of mediums. So, 2 stop for Arthur tonight. There you go. Dylan is back in. Hang on. So, Dylan's car pitted. But it didn't change his tyres. Unless the game's just completely screwed him over. Which it probably has. Because this game is fantastic. Right. So, yeah. This is where the race gets a little bit, don't want to use the word dull, but obviously people are now all on the hard tyres, apart from Dylan at the back. So everyone will be aiming to go to the end. Benster will be the tightest. He's been on those hard tyres 8 laps now, and it doesn't look like he's making much inroads into his teammate. He's still 6 seconds behind. They're all a bit spread out. It looks like Jake is hanging on to Elite Risk nicely then. If he can stay within that second, then we've seen how good Elite Risk's pace is. So if Jake can stay... and Dylan's retired in the pits. So. P12 for Dylan. Well done, Dylan. No, looks like Jake's not having fun with those tyres, so he is he's outside that DRS zone, and he is now going to be hunted by Arthur, who has just set a purple sector free. So it looks like he means business. He's coming for that fastest lap. Back up the front, Aurelian now leads by 2 seconds from Dan. Kagorniak still holding on to that final podium position, with the 2 Mercedes running P4 and P5. Pagbussi, the first and the one and only remaining Red Bull left in the race, in P6. Elite Risk, P7. He hasn't done the recovery drive. I thought he might have. Both, obviously, Arthur had to do a 2-stop, but I'm honestly surprised that Elite Risk hasn't made more inroads than he have. Obviously, look, you see that he's pulled out by Jake by almost a second. In 1 lap, so the pace is there. It's just not enough to pull him back into podium contention. Excuse me. Oh, here you go. Look at this lovely camera angle. If coaches could do this for every track, it would be wonderful. Maybe at a track where there is overtaking. Hint, hint. But this, I love this. It's like a helicopter view here. Oh, and in the background, Jake. Is it Jake? Yeah, it's Jake. He has a spin. Excuse me. Doesn't look like there's much damage. It might have had a tad of rear wing damage, but Jake, after that, is now down into P10. Gifting positions to Aros and Arthur. He will not be happy with himself. But one more retirement, and you're guaranteed points. And look at that, it's bringing the gap down again. The gap's down by another half a second, pretty much, isn't it? I mean, if he keeps bringing that down, he could well be on the back of Dan by the end of this race. Let's have a look. I'll say with Dan. Oh yes, there we go. The lovely stadium view. We'll stay with Dan. We'll see what kind of lap time he does, and then we'll go to Kagorniak and see if he is actually catching or not. So Dan does a 127.7 and Kagorniak does a 128. So no. That particular lap, Kagorniak lost about 3 tenths. But he was able to pull out on his teammate. Right then, so Elite Risk has now caught the back of Pagbussi Oh, that's a mouthful. So we're right on board. That's Arthur. There you go. Fastest lap of the race, 26.9. That's 1.1 seconds quicker than what Cagoniac went, isn't it? So it's about a second on that quicker right now. Question is, does Elite Risk go for the move now, or does he wait for the second DRS straight? He employs DRS. It looks like he's going to go for it now. Goes for the inside. Easy overtake in the end, but this is where, if Pack Bussy stays close, Pack Bussy will of course get the DRS back. It's almost worth to not overtake unless you've got a lot of overspeed. But Pack Bussy, it looks like Alros has got his, sorry not Alros, Elite Risk looks like he's got his number this time. So Elite Risk made the right call, overtaking him as quick as he did. What do I know? At the moment there is no other battles on track, so we'll just stay with Pack Bussy, see if he can stay within a second. What happens, I am just going to check something out. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not going to say it because I will curse it. So I will leave it at that until something possibly happens. And Pack Bussy has fallen outside of the DRS zone, so no DRS for Pack Bussy. Having said that, did he close enough in the braking zone to get DRS? He did, so he will drag himself a little bit closer. I think Pack Bussy knows he hasn't got the ultimate pace of Elite Risk, but if he can stay within that second, it will stave off Arthur for that little bit longer. And as you can see, the gap at the front is now up to 2.5 seconds. Gap to Cagoniac pretty much staying stable at 4.2 seconds, 4.3. So, yeah, and they pulled away from Fitzy as well. So, unless anything happens, that podium is looking like a safe bet right now. There we go, Pack Bussy has once again fallen outside that 1 second threshold. And now, I think, yeah, he won't get it this lap now. This is now with Arthur. Let's see how quick he was 1 point. Oh, gee, look at that. It's coming down pretty much. It was coming down a tenth per second there, that gap. It was 1.9, 1.8, 1.7, 1.6. Now it's 1.5. Back up to 1.6. Down to 1.5, 1.4. Arthur, look at that. Just look at the speed he's got. Half a second in pretty much one sector. As it looks like Jay Moore and Jake had a little battle for P10. But we'll ride back with Arthur because Arthur could well be within a second. Oh, I don't think he's quite made it this lap. He hasn't, no. But he won't worry. Arthur will know he's got a lot of speed. But now you can see he will be in the detection zone for the next DRS. So then, will Arthur go for a move at this lap? Or will he bide his time? We've seen Arthur being a bit impatient in the past. But he looks like he's a bit far back to make a move. But you never know. Just look at the speed he has compared. But, oh, I'm going to get this lovely view. Let's look at the closing speed of Arthur compared to Pack Bussy. The tyres, I mean, to be fair, Pack Bussy's tyres are 11 laps old, where Arthur's are only 5 laps. So, just look, he's hounding him, almost pushing him around the corners. You can see Arthur just losing time to Elite Risk ahead. And again, onto the pit straight, and we've still got, boo. We were enjoying that view. But there we go. Oh, Arthur runs a bit wide there. Stretching the track there. May well have got a warning. And of course, battery's not too bad. As Arthur, will he go on an outside, move from outside here? No, he... I'll tell you what though, he's got the switch back. Oh, and Pack Bussy! It looks like he's lost it under the traction. Oh, what a shame for Pack Bussy. Didn't look like there's any contact, but of course that's given Arthur a bit of DRS, as Aros benefits from that as well. Jay Moore looks like he's having a good time. He's dispossessed Jake of P10, so Jay Moore currently in the points as it stands, but I'm sure Jake wants a word about that, as not moving the braking zone, but makes his one move. Now let's see, can he bring himself closer once again? Looks like Jay Moore's got a bit more. Oh, hello, dude. Almost left off there. But Jake's got a lot of speed here, and we're going into the new turn, and Jake on the outside, Jay on the inside. These two battling out for the last point of the race. Jake's going around the outside. Jake will have the inside for the next corner, and he gets ahead. Great racing from these two. I'm sure this will be a ding-dong to the end of the race. For the last points, I'm sure no one will want that P11. As we've got a yellow flag. Is that Pack Bussy again? No, it's Auros. And I'll tell you what, look at that, Pack Bussy in the pits. He must have got damage. Did he get damage? No, he's just put on a fresh set of softs. So that does promote Jake and Jay Moore both into P9 and P10. Auros had a spin, you saw. Coming out the first corner. Oh, and that's... Oh, dear me. It's to and fro with these two at the back here. Put on a show. Very good driving so far. Alright then. Jake will have the DRS, of course. As Jay Moore does his one move. Jake sticks to the inside. Jay Moore tucks in from the slipstream. But Jay Moore will, of course, have the DRS for the next straight. And he's so close, I doubt Jake will have any defence. Batteries are about the same, but look at that, DRS, yeah, it's just about working, isn't it? As Jay Moore goes to the inside, and there you go. But Jake not quite giving up just yet. Pushing, very tight but fair racing, and we've got another yellow flag. It's is that Arthur? Arthur's gone round. Well, wasn't expecting to say that again, but there you go. Arthur has pretty much wrecked any chance he had of catching an elite risk, as we'll rejoin Jake and Jay Moore, because these two are the only guys put on the show as it stands. Maybe it will continue to the end of the race. If it does, then these two get a lot of TV time. I'm being told by my TV producers that Dylan retired due to rear wing damage. Which is why, unfortunately, he had to go. Right then. So, here we are, round 769. Oh, that was... what is... I think that's just about within the rules of etiquette. And moving on the straight. That was a lot of weaving there, but I think... we'll see if Jake posts a clip. Right then, Jake with the DRS this time then. Can he make a move around the outside? He does. There we go. Oh, we got the helicopter view back. And Jay Moore looks like he's kept the position for now, but Jake's got that inside. He's not going to give it up. They're going to go side by side. Oh, and Jake lifts off. Probably very wise there, because I don't think I've seen many cars go side by side into that corner, and these two providing a great spectacle. When the other field is pretty much status quo. I think the only other thing is elite risk is catching Benster. But Pack Bussy then sets the fastest lap. Oh, Jake! Oh no! Oh, Jake. What a shame. He's ruined the only good battle on track. Obviously, he didn't spin on purpose, but what a shame for Jake. He was hanging on for P9 and P10, but unfortunately, that is, unless we get a safety car, unfortunately, that is Jake's race done for the evening. So then, while we've got no action on track, we've got 5 laps remaining. Let's just go through the order, shall we? So Aurelian is your race leader as it stands. Currently just about 3 seconds ahead of Dan in P2. Okay, Gorniak, the gap's down to 3.1 now. Probably a bit too much of an ask to close Dan before the end of the race. But T is still secured P3 at the moment. Fitzy running... excuse me. Fitzy running a very comfortable P4. Over just 3.5 seconds ahead of his teammate Benster, who looks like he is keeping the gap level to Elite Risk, who's running P6. Arthur, after his second spin of the day, is currently running P7. Aros, very odd race from him tonight. Seemingly off the pace. Let's have a quick look at his fast lap. So his fast lap was 28.2. So, yeah, a bit of an odd. He's got the, apart from cricket, mate, he's got the slowest, fastest lap. So, something definitely wrong in that Aros car tonight. But he is just over 3 seconds ahead of Jay Moore. Who in turn is 6 seconds ahead of the fast charging Pack Bussy, who has the fastest lap, of course, on those fresh, soft tyres. And Jake, he didn't pit for a fresh wing. Is he going to the end without a wing? That's a bit odd. Not too sure what's happening there. I'm sure Jake will explain all once he gets back into Park Fermi. So, if anyone's watching, oh, yellow flag. Was there a yellow flag? Did I see a yellow flag? Doesn't look like anyone has banned. So, if anyone is watching in the chat, let me know who you want to watch. Right now, I'm gonna stay with Elite Risk because I believe he is the only driver currently catching the car in front. Having said that, Gorniak's cooled down by another half second there. So Gorniak looks like he's getting pedal to the metal. Right, that's right on board now. 1.7 seconds, and we've got another yellow flag. Who is it? It's Fitzy. Fitzy. It was looking so good for P4, and he's had a spin. The everyone's favourite kind of 10 and 11 and good news for his teammate, I guess, who has now been promoted to P4. He could definitely do that extra point because Aros now just 1.2 behind. In the next lap he could well be in the DRS zone. Oh, there you go. He is under the second now. I think this fast charging, of course, Spencer, those tyres are now 20 laps old, of course. One thing I forgot to mention, of course, Spencer has been on those tyres since lap 7, I believe. So, how quick can Aros catch him? We saw Spencer with quite a good top line speed earlier. Aros deploying that battery, getting closer and closer. And look at that. Oh, he's almost having to go of him right there. But I think this would be the Concertina effect, and I think Aros almost screwed himself over a bit there because he got himself a bit too close and had to reignite. And look at that. I think Dan might have an issue because he's lost a bit of time to Rulian, but he's also lost a lot of time to Kagorniak as well. As we got a sector 3. Oh, it's Kagorniak. Oh, okay, good. I was just saying you're catching Dan. Why would you spin? So that pretty much cements Dan for P2. Dear me. Right then, the battle for 4th place is on. It's Spencer versus Elite Risk. 2 laps remaining. We have started lap 28 of 29 here. Tier 1 in Abu Dhabi. Jake has come out of the pits, which means I don't think he'll have... Oh yeah, he'll have time. Surprised he only put the softs on. But he is now a lap down, Jake, in P11. So safe to say the top 10 will get points now. I don't think Jake's going to get a point now. Right then. Does Elite Risk? Does he go for the move now? He proved me wrong earlier by going for the move early. Oh, he goes for the tight for the inside. He's barges his way through. Oh, he's come over a bit too much there. Oh, not leaving a lot of room for Benson. I think he may have misjudged how far he was ahead, but luckily Benson's wise enough to keep his nose out of it. As Benson almost going around the inside, we've got a lovely camera angle view there. Benson isn't going to give up just yet. As there we go then. So the last lap of the race has started. And I'm not saying it until it happens. So I will just continue with this battle for now. Because we could be in for an historic moment here. But again, I am going to keep my mouth shut, otherwise it won't happen. Benson just staying within that second. I think he needs to if he doesn't want to drop off. Oh, he's run wide. And his tyres really not happy. Oh, look at that. The overseer, the tyres really wanting to go nope. And he's just fallen out of that second. So I don't think he'll get DRS. He was just under a second. DRS zone for nope. He's pretty much exhausted his battery, as has Elite Risk. But Elite Risk, decent recovery drive in the end. After his early setback, he'll be disappointed not to get a podium. But fourth is better than nothing. So then, here we go. It's happening, folks. It's too late for it to be a curse. Aurelian has led the race for a while now. I forgot what lap it was. It was before the pits, wasn't it? And Aurelian, who was 57 races, will now cross the line and win! He wins! Aurelian wins his first race in 7GR! Oh, it's finally happened, folks. Well done, Aurelian. Oh, I'm so happy for the guy. I tell you what, this guy works so hard and he never gets any luck. He almost bent it off at the end of last year because, I mean, who would blame him after all that bad luck? And tonight, it's all fallen into place and Aurelian is a race winner here in 7GR. 57 races. Well, this is rate 58, so 58 races. 318 points plus 25. 4 pole positions, one win, and this will be his 10th podium. So congratulations to Aurelian. Well done, sir. I am so chuffed for you. Dan crossed the line in P2. He'll be disappointed that he didn't keep up with Aurelian. But P2 is good for Dan. And I believe it was Kagorniak who took the final podium. We'll do the official race rundown. The game has also given Driver of the Day to Aurelian. Why not? Driver of the Day. Fully deserved. There we go. Some said this day would never happen. But here we are. September 20th, 2022. Aurelian is a 7GR race winner. There we go. There shall be double podium for Aston Martin. They're nowhere near in the standings, but obviously that won't help. So then, here is your race down. It's official. Aurelian has his first win in 7GR. A magnificent performance, starting from P5 on the grid. Dan, P2 after starting P4. He'll be disappointed with the win after looking quite fast early on. Kagorniak, a podium from P9. I'm surprised the game didn't give him the race win, the driver of the day. Benster, P4. Elite Risk, P5. The championship leaders in P6. Fitzy, P7 in the end. Disappointing after almost getting P3. Aros will be P8. Jay Moore, P9. Pagbussi gets P10 and the fastest lap. Jake, the last classified runner in P11. And then we have Dylan and Krigmit as your DNFs. So then, that is the end of that race. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with us. If you've reached this far, you are a bloody hero. Abu Dhabi can be quite hard to watch, so we appreciate all the views. So after tomorrow we are back for Tier 2 as they take to Italy. Let me just check which Italy it was, because it's Italy. Tomorrow is Monza. Lovely stuff. That will be a great race. And then if you can't make it tomorrow, or if you can, make sure to pop on Thursday, where we have, say, round 9, Tier 3, and then of course, failing that, back next week for Tier 1. Could be a shake-up, it could be not. But either way, the next race should be, drum roll, Miami. That'll be a good one. First time Tier 1 with a race round there. So once again, folks, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you sticking with us, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye bye for now.